What's up guys? We are back for another unboxing today. I am actually flying solo today. The rest of the crew's out on a shoot, so I'm gonna do this a little bit more vlog style. I'm sure you can tell from the title, we got a set of the VESPID Primes by DZO film. This is the 8 lens kit, so it's a pretty big kit. Super excited to get into these and kind of show you what they look like and what kind of case they come in and everything else. We also got a couple add-on items that I'll kind of talk through and show you. And then probably in a future video what we'll do is compare the lenses and see how they hold up to the Canon CNEs, which we also have, and ultimately give some impressions of which we like better and everything else. So super excited for these. Let's get into it. Alright, so first up we have the outside box that it shipped in. This is a pretty hefty box, weighs in about 30 pounds I believe. So yeah, should be a Pelican case in here with all of the lenses in it, or some type of case, maybe not Pelican. But yeah, this is the kind of box that it comes in. It's pretty well packed. There's no like damage to it. It's obviously coming from China at some point, so maybe you could expect some damage, but surprisingly pretty well-structured box. Everything else, depending on the kit that you get, if you get a smaller kit, then it's probably going to come in a smaller box, but with this kit being 8 lenses, pretty hefty box. Alright, so we're going to open her up now. Going to try and do this one-handed. Gotta have a real sharp knife for these one-handed unboxings, because otherwise I'm gonna be working at it all day. Alright. Look at that. Another box. Alright, so I am going to put the camera down for a sec, take out this other box, and then get this one open as well. Alright, so we got the inner box out now. More of the same. It does come with little guards on all of the different corners, which is super nice. Some of them fell off when I was getting it out, but little added protection there. I'm excited to get in and see if there's any other protection that it shipped with, or if it's just the case. I think the case is pretty well protected as is, so no big deal if there's nothing else in there. But let's open the second layer up. This is a lot harder to do than it looks. Alright. Okay, so we got layer of foam on the top, a little bit of added protection there. So that's nice. And then we have foam surrounding the entirety of the case, which is also nice. So I think overall this is packed pretty nice for shipping. You can rest assured that it's going to be protected in transit. So I'm gonna put the camera down again, take out the case now, and we're gonna get it opened up and walk through the different lenses. Alright, so I got the plastic covering off now, and we're just gonna take a quick little look at this case. Pretty hefty, high quality, as to be expected. Got a lot of areas to lock it if needed, if you're like traveling. Yeah, obviously not Pelican branded, but it's like similar setup. I'm not sure if like DZO makes their own case or if it's Nanook or something like that, but yeah, cool case. Let's get her opened up though, get to the main event here. there we are. So similar to a Pelican case, have that foam on the top, a little egg crate foam. And then what I love about these DZO film cases, which we have a similar thing for our CNEs because we have a Jason case, but there's a specific cutout for each lens, and they're also labeled so you know the 100 mil goes right there, the 125 goes right there, and then you actually have space for, I believe, 2 additional lenses because the biggest kit that you can get is a 10 lens kit. We went with the 8 lens kit. But if you ever upgrade, then you have 2 spots to throw additional lenses there. So I am going to set this camera up. We'll take a seat and I'll kind of go through them one by one, and then I'll look at some of these stickers and everything else that comes with it. But let me just get one more little view of the outside of the case, the lenses. Cool. All right, give me a sec and then we'll dive into each of the lenses. All right, so we're gonna dive right in here. First off, I wanna go through some of these cool little stickers. So there's a bunch of different types of stickers that are included there of different sizes and everything else. I think my favorites right here are the 90 mil macro lenses. Those are pretty fun. I know Atlas Anamorphic does a similar thing with their lenses. I don't know if DZO does them with all of the lenses or just the macro, but nonetheless, those are super cool to just like throw on a case or something else. So yeah, there's some stickers. Now let's get into the main event here. So real quick, before I start going into the unboxing, I'm gonna go through and just talk about the lenses that we got. So we got an 8 lens kit. It is the 16, 25, 35, 50, 75, macro 90, 100, 125. All of the lenses are at T2.1 with the exception of the macro 90, which is at 2.8. So that's gonna be similar to like the Canon L macro, which we also have. That'll actually be an interesting test. Maybe we'll do a separate video on that, testing the this macro compared to the Canon L macro and see which one is better. And then the other one is the 16 mil, which I'm gonna have to double check because I'm not actually sure what that aperture is for the f-stop, t-stop. Okay, 2.8. So that's actually kind of cool because the alternative with Canon CNE is either 14 or 16 mil. I can't remember. It might be 14 actually, but I know that's T3.1. So that's nice to have it a little bit more open. Obviously, wide-angle lenses are harder to get wide open without spending a bunch of money. So yeah, we're gonna start with the 16 here. Gonna basically move from widest to tightest. So I'm gonna take the plastic off of each of these, give my first impressions, and show it to the camera. I will say that I have used VESPIDs before. We've used them on like a shoot before, maybe like one shoot with the bigger crew. But I've never really been able to spend too much time with them. So these are kind of gonna be first impressions. I haven't had a lot of time to actually play around, throw the spin on them, see how the build quality is, all that stuff. So right here we are starting with the 16 T2.8, and this is one of the newer ones. DZO's been killing it lately, coming out with a lot of new lenses. I really went back and forth on getting the 6 lens kit versus getting the 8 lens kit. The difference with the 6 and the 8 lens kit is that the 8 lens kit comes with the 16 mil, and then it also comes with the macro 90, I believe. So I kind of went back and forth, especially with the macro, because like I said, we already have the Canon macro. But another cool thing with these is that they're interchangeable from EF to PL. And so part of the deal that we got with this is that it comes with all of the PL adapters. So if we are on like a bigger shoot, let's say we're running multiple cameras, they all have PL mount. what really threw me over in deciding that we wanted the 8 instead of the 6 was that if all of these have PL or the ability to have PL, then that'll be super nice and we'll be able to have a macro. Whereas if we're running PL and you know we need a macro, we can't rely on the Canon L obviously because it's EF. So that's what really threw me over. And then also just having a 16 mil lens, that's like basically the widest lens we have, and it's something that's not going to be used every day, but it's a cool specialty lens that comes in handy when you need it. So as you can see, we are on EF with all of these, I believe, and then the PL mounts should be somewhere in the case. I'll have to go look for that. But yeah, let me just do a couple little spins here. Super smooth throw. With the 16 compared to all of the others, you don't have the same filter diameter, obviously because it's so wide. So if you're throwing a matte box on or something like that, this is gonna be the one lens out of the kit that you will have to adapt to and either get different rings for it, or not roll a matte box, or maybe throw something else on, bigger ring or something. So that's one thing to note. I believe all of the other ones though, same filter, I think it's like 77 or something like that. I'll double check with the next lens. But yeah, first lens here, 16 mil. That's gonna go back in now. Nice snug fit for all the lenses. Next up here we have the 25 mil. This is kind of fun. It is normally a 24 mil for most of the other cinema lenses, the CNEs and CP2s, all that stuff. So kind of interesting that they chose 25. I don't mind it though. It's pretty similar focal length. So here we go with the normal filter size. So that's how the rest of them are. So you can have a matte box that is that fits around that, and then you can easily adjust and bounce between these different lenses. Let's see if I can find the filter length here, filter size. It's not on here, so I think it's 77. If it's not, I'll throw it up on the video correcting it, but pretty sure it's 77. I really like the look of these two. It's just nice and clean. Big white text for the focal length, and then we have yellow for the distance, t-stop, all that stuff. So pretty cool. On to the next one. 35 here. As I go through these, I'll kind of speed it up because obviously they're all pretty similar once you get into it. But I do just want to give a quick little showcase of each of them in case someone's maybe looking to just buy one or just buy a couple instead of the full kit. So 35, still T2.1, all the same stuff. Minimum focus distance is 1 foot. So there we have the 35. Has some nice weight to it. Build quality so far on all of them feels really nice. Definitely not cheap. I think that's one of the things that sets the DZOs apart from the others, Rokinon or whatever. Don't come at me if you like Rokinon, but to me, build quality and everything else just doesn't seem like it's quite there for Rokinon. It's kind of like a budget CME in some ways, but with this, with the DZOs, it really feels like the value is easily more than what you pay for with these guys. And I'm excited in future videos to do some comparisons between CNEs or even other series of cinema lenses, and just see how they compare, how they hold up. For the value, I think for an 8 lens kit, you're having this is a full kit right here. You can really do anything with. And so I think that's pretty cool to have in one set. Our CNEs, what we have right now is a 24, 35, 50, and 85. There's a couple other lenses that you can get, but the coverage with VESPIDs has a lot more full coverage, from really, really wide to really, really tight, and a lot more in between. So I think that's something that also sets the VESPIDs apart from CNEs or other types of lenses. So real quick, 50, again, same exact look. Same filter size, all that stuff. 50's closest focal distance is 1 foot 6 inches. I am not sure how that compares to the CNEs, but I think that's pretty good for 50. And that's not to mention that DZO also just came out with a series of macro lenses. I think they're called like Genosis or something. And those look pretty slick. You can get 60 something, 20 something. So, you know, those are pretty cool. I've always really liked the probe lens by Laowa or whatever. And so I think that's maybe what DZO is trying to do a little bit. You get that really nice macro, but a really wide angle lens, and it gives this really, really cool effect, because most people are just used to seeing macro tight at 90 or 100 or whatever. So here we have the 75. I think this one will be a really, really great lens for interviewing, for a B cam for an interview, and just doing some really nice tight detail shots. Next up, we have the macro. So we'll have to see how this compares to the other ones, size-wise, focus-wise, all that stuff. So right off the bat, I can tell that it's definitely taller. I will just get the 75 out and do them side by side here. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me get focused. I'll just hold them up. How about that? Come on. There we go. So let's see. So right there is about lined up. Come on. There we go. So you can see that the 90 is definitely a little bit taller. Obviously, it has more glass in there to get the macro. Weight-wise, feels similar. I think the 90s may be a little tiny bit heavier, but yeah, overall, same exact diameter, same width, all that stuff. So I'm gonna put 70 back in. Let's look at minimum focus for 90. That focus throw is really, really smooth. All right, so we're at 10 inches, 10.2 inches for minimum focus distance. I will double check on the Canon macro and see what that compares to, maybe throw it up on the screen. But 10 inches, that's pretty close. So one more time, there it is. And also same filter size again. So if you either have circular filters or you have matte boxes, whatever it is, it's gonna fit on all of these lenses with the exception of the 16. Next up we have the 100. So it's kind of a cool lens. We don't shoot at 100 that much, but one of the things that I like about fixed prime cinema lenses is it obviously forces you to work with that lens. You don't have the ability to zoom in, zoom out, and so I think it's fun to kind of play around and try new things and force yourself to maybe try focal lengths that you wouldn't normally try, and it leads to some really interesting shots and creativity and kind of thinking outside the box. So I think the 100 and even the 125, those are both focal lengths where we're not using them too much, but I think with these we may start to use them a little bit more and see what we can do. So there we have a close-up of the 100. For the 100, we have minimum focus distance of 2 feet 4 inches. So that's not bad for 100 millimeters. Not bad at all. All right, last but not least, we have the 125. So still 2.8. Minimum focus distance of this is 2 feet 7 inches. So again, not too bad for 125. You can, I think, get pretty good detail shots. Obviously you have the macro, so if you really need super tight stuff, that's your lens right there. But this, I'm envisioning like some really good kind of like face detail shots, get some eyes, get all that stuff. So, or even like a really good detail shot for an interview. If you're doing like a 2-3 cam setup, you could have this on maybe C cam, let's say, and get like a really nice tight face shot to get some of that expression in there. So let me hold this up. There's the 125. All right, so last up, I'm just gonna take them all out, line them up, and give some first impressions on all of them collectively. So give me a sec for that. All right, so here we have all of the lenses together. I guess when I was talking originally, I thought that they were all the same height, basically, with the exception of the 90, but clearly they're not, and thinking about that more, it wouldn't have made sense with different focal lengths and different glass. So overall, these lenses look super nice, super consistent. Love the colors, like I said. And they are compact, which is cool. So we have 8 lenses here, and they're pretty small, pretty thin, pretty lightweight in comparison to a lot of other lenses. I think with all 8 and the case, it's about 30 pounds. So definitely not crazy. A lot of cinema lenses are a lot heavier than that. So I think that'll do it. I hope you guys found this helpful, whether you're looking for a whole kit or just one lens. I think DZOs overall are a great value for the money compared to a lot of other lenses. We're gonna make other videos in the future comparing the VESPIDs to the CNEs. I actually really wanna make a video comparing this macro to the Canon L macro, which is such an iconic macro. See how they hold up in different situations and everything else. So yeah. Hope you like that. Start doing a lot more unboxings, but also still gonna be doing a lot of BTS and business stuff and everything else. But definitely let me know what kind of content you guys wanna see. I'm open to doing different stuff, trying new things, everything else, just kind of having fun with it and making sure, providing value to you guys and you wanna keep on watching. So with that, if you liked the video, feel free to drop a like and drop a sub. I'll see you in the next one.